Very graciously and kindly joining us now, Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty and North Dakota Senator Kevin Cramer. Fellas, I can't thank you enough because they're on a short leash with all the war coverage. Thank you. Senator Hagerty, I want to start with you about this Iran cutout or Iranian spy ring or Iranian influence ring. I know you've been looking at this story.
Yes.
Robert Malley in the State Department lost his security clearance. No one will tell us why. His person, Ariana Tabatabai, started at State. Now she's the chief of staff to the Defense Department's Assistant Secretary for Special Operations. What is up with this, Senator Hagerty?
Clearly, it's an Iranian influence operation that's active inside this administration. Larry, can you imagine, under the Trump administration that we both served in, that something like this could have ever materialized? Here you have Rob Malley, who is our special envoy for Iran under Biden, the person responsible for negotiating the JCPOA under Obama. Here he has lost his security clearance. He's been suspended from the State Department. He's under federal investigation. He's been tied directly to this Iranian experts initiative that you mentioned, now the chief of staff at the Department of Defense. Now she has been, one of those members that he put into the DOD. This is deeply, deeply concerning, and you can thank Rob Malley for this as well. Today, the United Nations sanctions on Iran all permanently expired. This was negotiated by Rob Malley. The Biden administration allowed them to expire. These were multilateral sanctions. They could have had a much more extensive effect if we'd snapped them back. And frankly, we should snap back every sanction we possibly can on Iran, point to who's responsible for this chaos and murder in Israel. Rob Malley has a lot of blood on his hands.
That's a key point. That is a key point on this this ballistic missile sanctions. Kevin Cramer, Senator Cramer, again, I want to thank both of you for coming on together so we can do this properly. Senator Cramer, I'm still, the Treasury Department, Biden's announced today they're going to sanction 1,000 people, Hamas and Qatar and Syria and whatever. That's great. They're all on the defensive because they lifted or relaxed the maximum sanctions on Iran. Iran's the financier. I mean, Senator Cramer, is there any chance that the Democrats will join with Republicans in the Senate and get something done to reimpose these sanctions on Iran? I'm not worried about Hamas sanctions. I don't think Hamas has money. Iran has the money.
Right. Yeah, Iran and then a lot of other partners of Iran. This has got to be primary and secondary. Senator Hagerty could speak to this as well as anybody. He went to the floor last night with requesting unanimous consent on Iran Sanctions Relief Act that would require all sanction relief to come to the Congress before they would be enacted. And of course, Democrats objected to that. We had another one. Senator Cotton made another request yesterday, unanimous consent on the floor, and Democrats objected to that. That would have frozen that $6 billion that we often talk about, which is not a great deal of money, but it's a pretty significant symbol of just how depraved we've become. And so I was hopeful there'd be some bipartisan support for that. So far, not.
Senator, just to follow up, how can Democrats say they're 100% for Israel? Everyone's going to Israel. Biden went to Israel. Schumer went to Israel, and not want to impose maximum sanctions on Iran? I don't get it.
Well, I think part of it, Larry, is they hate American oil production.
Go ahead, Senator. Go ahead, Mr. Cramer.
Yeah, they hate domestic oil production so much that they'd prefer that Iran and Venezuela produce oil and sell it to our adversaries, with their poor environmental records, than actually have America producing cleaner energy and selling it across the world, around the world.
Mr. Hagerty, are you as pessimistic? There's, Joni Ernst was on the show last week, and she had a bipartisan group and thought maybe something could be done. But Senator Hagerty, you think you're not going to get anything on the Iran sanctions?
Listen, we saw this very shallow set of sanctions, Larry, you so accurately pointed out. Sanctioning Hamas, these are primary sanctions. They will have no impact. It's the sanctions that the Biden administration allowed to expire today on a multilateral basis, secondary sanctions that you and I both worked on. You recall when I was ambassador to Japan, we got the Japanese to stop buying Iranian crude. Those are the types of sanctions that bite. Those actually matter. That's what the Biden administration should be doing right now, and they're doing nothing of it. This is just a smokescreen, and it underscores the fact that Joe Biden's appearance in Israel was just a photo op.
Senator Cramer, that's bad. This Iranian cutout group in the State and Defense Department's bad. There was peace. I was just talking to Kellyanne Conway. There was peace and quiet in the Middle East 3 years ago. Now it has completely blown up. Last word, Senator Cramer.
Well, there's no question. It all began with the Iran nuclear deal, which was an Obama initiative that they supported. President Trump got rid of. They brought it back. Now they're trying to do it quietly. If they can't do it openly, it's disgusting.
Thank you, gentlemen. You're both very gracious to help out. We appreciate it and your point of view. Thank you ever so much. Folks, I'm Kudlow. Be right back with the last word.